Hi, everybody. My name's Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Eli.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah channel. And we need some drum rolls because it is a Shavuot. It is also a day that we are all back together, which has been very, very rare. Jade, is that you're laughing because Cubs is... Yeah, Kate's sitting there yawning as we're trying to do our stuff. It is a good day because the family is back. And I guess it's good because Miss Nicole's over there cooking something. I didn't realize she was going to start right here, but it sounds like she's sizzling stuff as well. She says she's almost done. Okay, well that's okay because we all got to eat here. But it is a feast day, and it is it's an appointed time that we are supposed to keep. And so here we are, and so we are taking the day off, which normally we on a first day, which is the day of the sun. We're usually out there busting up, all of us doing something or the other. And so here we are together as a family. We get to spend some time with Yah. We get to rest. We get to party in the name of Yah, and that is a good thing. Now, gentlemen, it has been a long time since we've had everyone at this table for this particular reading. Where have you been, Eli?
I've been working.
What do you do?
I'm a chef, basically.
Are you a chef, or are you like the chef's apprentice?
Both?
Both. How long do you have to cook before you become a chef? I think that's a while, isn't
I
it?
believe they call it a sous chef.
Sous chef?
No, that's the second in command.
The sous chef second in command?
Yeah.
What's the guy at the very end? Isn't it just like a prep cook or something?
I think you should say, I don't know, maybe assistant chef.
Assistant chef. I don't think you get that title yet. You're still at the very the beginning of this. I don't know what it is, but he's doing really, really good. Jade, where you been?
Working.
Working. What are you doing?
Computer repairs.
Computer repairs, taking stuff apart, doing stuff. Kate, where you been?
With you, pretty much.
Yeah, you're the only one I had any of these encounters with over here on this thing. And now it is good to see you reading out of the Yah Scriptures, Kate. I see a huge book right before us, and we are reading out of the very first one. It's definitely 1 inch right there. It's 2 inches, a little over 2 inches thick. Can you see it? You're in the Book of Kings right now. Can you see everything?
Yeah, it's large.
Okay, it's large and in charge. This is what we're looking at. This is what Cade's actually reading out of right now, and we're so psyched. I'm real psyched because yesterday I got to read out of it for the very first time. I made it to 7 chapters or so of Genesis, and it was an amazing reading to be able to see this. Guys, this is 14.5 font, so that means the vision impaired among us will be able to see it, hopefully. Depends on how bad the vision impaired is, but at least it gives us a shot. And for the last about 4 or 5 years, I've been unable to read out of a book without putting my glasses on. And anytime that I use my glasses, I end up getting a gnarly headache. So I've only been able to read off a tablet or device, so it was very, very nice. And so, guys, Yah Scriptures is it's coming. It's on its way. You're not available. You can't actually purchase this stuff on Shabbats. So if you want a Yah Scriptures, you got to get it on a regular day, and today's not the regular day, and yesterday is not a regular day. So tomorrow the stores will be open again, and you guys will be able to purchase them. For every scriptures that goes out, we are able to get 1 full scriptures into our brothers and sisters in chains. And I've run into a tremendous amount of brothers and sisters in chains. We write them, and in fact, I write half of it. I write the main message, and then I have my little comrade Eli. He does the rest of our prisoner letters. And what we do is I write to them personally on all whatever we're talking about. We always go back and forth on stuff, and so I always write to that. And then when I'm done, Eli starts pasting pieces of Yah's scriptures into the emails. And so the prison system is extremely corrupted to the point that it costs us 88 cents just to get a letter to our brothers and sisters in chains. Because most of the time we have to send them a 44-cent stamp to get the message back. And so all of our brothers and sisters in chains are helped by Eli. And Eli, how many letters do you think you've written in the last year? How many? Let's take a guess. I thought it was more than a year that we'd been actually talking to these guys, but the guys actually know. I talked to Noe, and he's like, look, it's been right at a year. I have all the letters. I've saved everything. It's right here. And I would like to encourage everybody out there, before I go too much further into this could be a special prisoner thing because, I talked to Noe this weekend, and he says he's been incarcerated for 18 years of his life. And he is a tremendous dude. He is tremendous. He's in prison right now. He's leading a group of guys, Torah-keeping guys. He has been a light shining for Yah. And he told me something very, very sad that made me very sad. And I hope that it makes you guys sad because there's something we can do to end this sadness because He said in the course of the time that he's been there, he's had a total of 3 pen pals. And they lasted no more than 3 months. And so the people in prisons are forgotten about. It is really, really easy to forget about those who are incarcerated. And their brothers and sisters in chains are the ones who need the most love, the most support, the most help. And if you guys would like to pen pal them, I can show you guys how. I will probably need to do a video because it's different than the old school days of just writing. We've had some folks that tried to write these brothers, and some get rejected. And so the correct way to not get them rejected is to download an app called Securus, which is a government app, and write them through that app. And so I will do an email or a video a little bit later and show you guys how to do this. But I would strongly encourage everybody to find a prisoner pen pal and to reach out. If you guys have any time whatsoever, if you guys can share doctrine, if you guys can share your stuff, and I'm not talking to the Christians. This offer does not go to the Christians. I don't want the brothers in chains to be sent incorrect doctrine. And unfortunately, if you are a Christian, you guys send these brothers some Christian literature and tell them once saved, always saved. They're not gonna be real happy. You probably won't get a letter back because these brothers are Torah keepers. They know that Elohim is one. They love him. They love his son, and they love his ways. And so if you guys have it in your heart that you guys would like to do this, please contact us. I will show you guys the way. I'll get a video out soon. You can email me at jboss008@gmail.com. And guys, our brothers and sisters in chains are very much worth everything. Okay, gents, I'm going to take a quick look on the screen for everybody over Israel and the kings of Israel and things of this nature. We have Saul, David, and Solomon, the first 1,000 years of kings. And these first 3 kings were the only times in Israel's, any time in their generations that all of Israel and Yehuda, Judah, were under one king. And so after Solomon, it got torn away. It went to Rehoboam and Jeroboam, and it continues on. And right now we are with Ahab, or it's in our version it's Acab because the H's are a different sound. So this is where we are at right here in the world of Acab as we begin. Now, gentlemen, since I just had you read the last 5 chapters to get kind of caught up, can somebody give me a quick breakdown of who, what, where, when, why, and hit it?
We are in the days of the prophets of Elijah, Obadiah. Elijah is going to war with people. He had the evil queen, Jezebel. They ended up slaughtering a bunch of prophets. He went and hid the prophets. Obadiah and him teamed up. They brought prophets out versus the prophets of Baal. They put water on the altar and tried to do a sacrifice, and Yahuwah rained down fire for them. The prophets of Baal kept calling to Baal, and they got no fire. And then Elijah mocked them, put water all over his altar, and trenched the water around his altar, put a sacrifice on it, and fire came down from heaven and consumed. There, showing that there was one Elohim. Then the prophets went and slaughtered the prophets of Baal, and Jezebel was cursing at Elijah and telling him that she was going to kill him and destroy him. And then there's just evil kings throughout all the generations.
Yeah, it's been a people who have played a harlot to our Creator in His terms, because our Creator, for those who do not know, our Creator is one who wishes for obedience. He wishes for obedience and not sacrifice, and He said that throughout the years. And for anybody that has never listened to anything that we've talked about, we are the family that believe that the laws, statutes, and commandments that are found in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy are what we should be using to rule our lives with. Not only are they excellent advice given to us by the hand of our Creator, but they are things that will keep us alive, and they will keep us not getting sick. There's so many good things out of the laws, which we call the Torah, that this is why we have this channel, is Yahuwah and the Torah, because without the Torah, the Messiah it's not going to be a complete package. And without the Messiah, the Torah is uncompleted. And so it's a two-way street. And that is what the book of Revelation says, that it says the only people that are saved are the people who are obeying the law, statutes, and commandments of our Creator, and those who have the faith of Messiah Yahushua, or Jesus the Christ, as you guys would probably know him by. Okay, gentlemen, you guys ready to rock and roll? Okay, so here we are, 1 Kings 21. And it came to be, after these events, that Naboth, the Yisraelite, had a vineyard, which was in Yisrael, near the palace of Acab, the sovereign of Shomeron. And Acab spoke to Naboth, saying, "Give me your vineyard, and it shall be a vegetable garden for me." 1 second here. And Achab spoke to Naboth, saying, "Give me your vineyard, and it shall be a vegetable garden for me, since it adjoins my house, and let me give you a better vineyard for it. If it is good in your eyes, let me give you its worth in silver." So he's not trying to take it from him. He is trying to buy it from him, right? Now, why wouldn't somebody in Israel want to sell their land?
Because it's their land, it's what they have.
It's their inheritance.
It's their inheritance. That's the laws. And that's what a lot of people do not understand, is that our Creator gave families and gave tribes various lands and gave them an inheritance. And there's rules and regulations to this, that you're not supposed to take it outside of the tribes. You're supposed to keep this stuff inside of it. It can't go away. Now, these guys are probably both from the tribe of Yehuda, so they could probably sell it and get it back in a Jubilee year. But actually, if it was in the city, you don't get it back, right? You guys remember this? You guys remember the Torah command? Okay. All right, so let's continue on. 3. And Naboth said to Achab, "Far be it from me, by Yahuwah, that I should give the inheritance of my fathers to you." And Achab went into his house embittered and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Israelite had spoken to him when he said, "I do not give you the inheritance of my fathers." And he lay down on his bed and turned away his face and did not eat food.
It's like throwing a bit of a fit here.
Yeah, this is a mantram, right? This is a tantrum of a man.
Spoiled kid.
Yeah, spoiled adult. This is what happens when your kids aren't disciplined. That you don't spank them enough, and they grow up and they do things like this, right? And they think they can take people's stuff because they haven't had the spankings on the 2 cheeks that they were designed for. Now 5, and Isabel, his wife, came to him and said to him, "Why is your spirit so embittered that you are not eating food?" And he said to her, "Because I spoke to Naboth the Israelite and said to him, 'Give me your vineyard for silver, or if you prefer, I give you another vineyard for it.' But he answered, 'I do not give you my vineyard.' So Isabel, his wife, said to him, 'Do you now rule over Israel? Rise up, eat food, and let your heart be glad. Let me give you the vineyard of Naboth the Israelite.' Then she wrote letters in Achab's name and sealed them with his seal, and sent the letters to the elders and the nobles who were dwelling in the city of Naboth. And she wrote in the letter, saying, 'Proclaim a fast, and seat Naboth at the head of the people. And seat 2 men, sons of Belial, before him to bear witness against him, saying, You have blasphemed Elohim and the sovereign. Then you shall take him out and stone him to death.'" All right, so this is quite the conspiracy, right?
Jezebel there for you.
Yeah, so Jezebel rocking the house here. So she went to the elders and the nobles. Now, if you were going to an elder and a noble in Israel, you would expect them to be wise in Torah, right? You would not say to them, "Okay, we're going to." This is as bad or probably worse than David's killing that guy.
Yeah, definitely worse.
Is it worse? This dude, David did some really wicked stuff right there. I mean, there's no excuse for this.
Okay,
but what?
This guy dies in a pretty terrible manner. Right? Getting stoned to death is not a good way to die.
See,
Getting stoned to death?
Yeah, so it's getting arrows through your heart. But
yeah.
So, but this dude, she included more people in her sins. So she made a whole bunch of other people's sins. Like she's like, so you blasted him, killed this guy. Then made all these other people sin. Where David just had him and Joab sin.
No.
And Bathsheba.
You had everybody was in on this thing, and according to the book of Josephus, the woman Bathsheba was totally in on this because she was going to get stoned. Right? They were going to take her outside the city gates, even if she was the king's mistress. According to Israel law, if you are committing adultery, you're going to get killed. So she was on the chopping block, and so according to Josephus, she hatched this plan with David. And then there's many people involved in this whole thing. And so it is a conspiracy. Neither one of them are good. And as Scripture says, you break one law, you break them all. So here we are. Anyone have anything else on this particular piece?
No.
Okay.
Really.
Okay, 11. And the men of his city, the elders and nobles who were inhabitants of this city, did as Isabel had sent to them, as it was written in the letters which she sent to them. Okay, so do you think they just got this letter and they just went ahead and ran with this? Or do you think they went and confirmed with this guy?
Nope. I bet they went. Yeah, because if they refused, same thing's gonna happen to them. So they're probably like, better kill us, lose our lives.
What happens if somebody forged this thing and put the king's signature on this thing and sent it off there, and then all these people did this crazy stuff?
Well, I mean, they probably know about it. This. Is probably the first time this happened. I mean, this has happened once. You've probably done it before.
So you don't think anybody checked with these people?
No, they probably know.
Just ran it?
Yeah.
All right. Eli, you think they checked or you think they just ran it?
I bet they just ran it.
Okay. Cade? I had everyone
Yeah,
say.
no, they.
Yeah, they did. All right. So it's
Yeah, if
three.
they would have checked, they would have been like, oh, this guy's a righteous guy. You know, if they actually, like, maybe consulted with Elohim first, been like, hey, this guy, a good guy, a bad guy.
I mean, she totally put in the letter what they want to do. Just but have men of Belial.
Yeah, they should have 2 false witnesses up there, and that's like, they should look at it and be like, yeah, that's not what we do.
All right. Let's see. 12. They proclaimed a fast and seated Naboth at the head of the people. And the men, sons of Belial, came in and sat before him. And the men of Belial witnessed against him, against Naboth, in the presence of the people, saying, Naboth has blasphemed Elohim and the sovereign. So they took him outside the city and stoned him with stones, and he died. Now, do you guys think this guy was sitting there screaming all the way out? Saying he's innocent?
Probably.
You guys are a bunch of liars. That what is this thing? Or do you think he just took this and just
No, I bet he had some words to say.
all the way out?
I'm sure it wasn't just a quiet, like, okay, yeah, I understand.
So he went there for some sort of good thing. He thought there was going to be something. And the weird thing is they put him at the head of the table, right? So it wasn't like he was just a dude around the table. He was a guy probably set up above the people, or at least at the end of the table for some reason. And then all of a sudden these dudes start ripping him to shreds. Okay. And they sent to Isabel saying, Naboth has been stoned and is dead. And it came to be when Isabel heard that Naboth had been stoned and was dead, that Isabel said to Achab, Arise, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth, the Yisraelite, which he refused to give you for silver. For Naboth is not alive, but dead. Now, do you think Achab knew about all this whole scheme? Do you think she said anything?
I bet he figured it out real quick. Like, this guy just doesn't end up dead for... Because Achab would have known if he blasphemed against him, right? If he saw the council, like, this guy blasphemed against me, he went.
Yeah, but do you think that she went and she got this letter? She's like, look, I'll take care of this Achab. Go rise up and eat, you big baby.
He's complacent with this.
You think?
Yeah.
But do you think he knew what she was going to do?
Probably. I mean, I think they've been together at a certain point. Like they both know each other wicked deeds. Like they'll both do evil. So, like she said, I'll get this for you. Like he has to know he's not gonna be able to convince.
She's not like the most amazing saleswoman. Like, hey, sell me this land, and he'll be like, yes, she's gonna do something like evil.
Look, I hate to be the guy that says beta male, but it sounds like Achab's a beta.
Yeah, dude. Threw a pity party after the guy said no, and then his wife had to go deal with this for him.
Yeah, like literally, what a beta. Definitely not an alpha. Not an alpha male. Okay, continue on. 16. And it came to be when Achab heard that Naboth was dead, that Achab arose to go down to take possession of the vineyard of Naboth, the Yisraelite. And the word of Yahuwah came to Eliyahu, the Tishbite, saying, Rise up, go down to meet Achab, sovereign of Yisrael, who lives in Shomeron. See, he is in the vineyard of Naboth, where he has gone down to take possession of it. And you shall speak to him, saying, Thus said Yahuwah, Have you murdered and also taken possession? And you shall speak to him, saying, Thus said Yahuwah, in the place where dogs lick the blood of Naboth, the dogs are going to lick your blood, even yours. Do you think, so this guy, when he's going down to take possession of a vineyard, the one thing is, if you have a vineyard, you have workers for a vineyard. You're like, the boss isn't going to go down there and pull off grapes and do stuff. I mean, he might go down and look at the grapes, but as far as the guy that's going that. Now, do you guys remember the grapes of wrath from back in the days when we were in the States? Do you guys remember that when we went down to Doc's house and cut all those grapes? Yeah. So we had a buddy of ours in the States, and we went out to this vineyard one day. He called all of us down there, and his wife was like Jezebel too. She was really like Jezebel. So I'll tell you why. Because Doc calls me. He says, "Look, can you get as many people as you possibly can get this day? Come down there, and we'll pay you for all this stuff." So I went and got all my employees at the time. I got my employees' family and friends all the time. So there was truckloads of us that all went out there, right? So we cut all this stuff. It was a ruthless, brutal day. We cut all these things down, right? At the end of the day, his wife started complaining about she wasn't going to pay anybody. And so I had like 15 people out there, and I have this woman that's saying, I'm not going to pay them. And I'm like, I'll pay you, fellas. So I ended up paying for all of Doc's grapes. I didn't get a bottle of wine out of it. I didn't get a pile of grapes. I didn't get anything out of this. I got to pay all my employees for cutting their grapes because of this. But anyway,
I know that story.
The entire point of this is that he's not going to just go down there and work this thing. So he's probably going down there talking to his people, going, "Hey, I'm the new owner of this place. Hey, how are you guys? You keep my grape vineyard up and do all this kind of stuff." So this is where the prophet is meeting him in this encounter, where he's like checking out his new vineyard and talking to his people. Okay, 20. And Achab said to Eliyahu, "Have you found me, O my enemy?" And he answered, "I have found you, because you have sold yourself to do evil in the eyes of Yahuwah. See, I am bringing evil on you, and shall consume your descendants and cut off from Achab every male in Yisrael, both those shut up and those left at large, and make your house like the house of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, son of Akiyahu, because of the provocation with which you have provoked me and made Yisrael sin. And also of Jezebel, Yahuwah has spoken, saying, the dogs are going to eat Isabel by the wall of Yisrael. The dogs are going to eat whoever belongs to Achab and dies in the city, and the birds of the Shemaim are going to eat whoever dies in the field. So that's quite the death sentence, right? I think it's a big deal. Everybody's upset that the dogs are taken off of the corpse or something is why they say that. 25. Indeed, there never was anyone like Achab who sold himself to do evil in the eyes of Yahuwah, because Isabel, his wife, stirred him up. Beta male. And he acted very abominably in following idols, according to all that the Amorites had done, whom Yahuwah dispossessed from before the children of Israel. And it came to be, when Achab heard those words, that he tore his garments and put sackcloth on his body and fasted and lay in sackcloth and went softly. What do you think it means to go softly? Head down, quiet.
Probably wasn't as pompous as it was before.
Yeah, he's
Humble a little bit.
He's probably looking at all his new
Now go throw your
employees and
pity
goes,
party.
yeah, and he's like, well, employees.
Anyone want a vineyard?
Yeah, can you guys keep this when I'm dead? Can you guys make sure you keep this up? Okay, 28. And the word of Yahuwah came to Eliyahu the Tishbite, saying, see how Achab has humbled himself before me? Because he has humbled himself before me, I do not bring the evil in his days, but in the days of his son, I bring the evil on his house.
Hey, Jezebel, I can get the same.
Yeah, Jezebel's
Hey,
not
don't,
good.
don't spoiler alert. Stay tuned for the days of Jezebel, and she learns how to fly. Okay.
Not very successful test run though.
Hey, we're not supposed to do a spoiler. We're supposed to have people tune in for her flying lessons and see how that goes.
It's happening this last chapter.
I think it does. I don't think she sticks around too much longer, but I guess. And the problem is, I don't know if you guys are going to be around for anything else other than this. So I don't know how long it's going to be before we can make it back to this, because I really like doing these with you guys, and I think the people on YouTube actually like hearing from you guys too, because it's kind of dire with me. I don't have a lot of things. I just go, Jason, what do you think of this? And I go, I don't know. I don't know what I think of this. But if I had kids here, they would tell me what they think of it. So anyway, guys, thank you guys very much for being a part of this. All Yah Scriptures are available free downloads. You guys can grab those. There's a downloads below. You can get the Apocrypha. You can get all of Yah Scriptures. All of our stuff is completely free. There's also an e-sword you can get as well. These are all mailable in the mails, in email and things, so you guys can send these out. They're small enough PDFs that you can send them out to anybody. So you can give a free Bible out. We're giving out over 1,000 free scriptures every single month, and we hope it goes up to many, many thousands every single month. So it's a good sign that Yah is working, and so hopefully people will read these scriptures. And much love to you all. We are out.
All right, shalom.